Mm-mm.
Now, 90, 90, 91.7 HD2 KROV FM Radio. I'm your host, Ambassador Lockhart. In here with me today is, as I said before, she's the hardest working woman in San Antonio, Texas. She believes in our youth. She's pushing our youth. She's encouraging our youth. She also encourage, I just have to stop before she has her way. Ms. Taylor, there are elderly people like in the in the elderly homes and convalescent homes, and can you just share a little bit about what the areas that you've covered even in that area?
Well, in relation to the elderly who are still kind of up and about, we established the District 2 Senior Center, and that's been very well received. It's there on W.W. White Road, right next to Chapman's Chicken. I know everybody likes Chapman's Chicken. So, it's always full. There's always seniors in there, mixing and mingling and doing the things they like to do. It's exciting to see them learning how to use a computer. I've gone in there. Some of the gentlemen tried to teach me how to play pool,
Yes.
but they're having a good time. So I'm very excited that we were able to provide that service to the community.
Okay, right now, San Antonio. I'm turning this mic over to. She's a woman of God, but also she's down to earth. Won't you receive at this time Miss Ivy Taylor?
Well, thank you so much, Elder Lockhart and Sister Lockhart, too. Well, I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about some of the things that I think some folks might be more interested in, though we're all excited about actually seeing physical projects that can help make our community better. I know for many people, they're struggling in their households to make ends meet and to be able to, kind of meet their basic requirements. So there's a couple of things I've learned about that I wanted to make sure the community is aware of. First off, is a wonderful opportunity that's become available at the Claude Black Center. The city of San Antonio has applied and received funding to establish 2 financial empowerment centers here, and we have one on the west side and one on the east side. Our east side center is at the Claude Black Center. So this provides an opportunity for the average everyday working person to go down there and actually have the benefit of free financial counseling, where you can sit down with a counselor who can help you get your money straight, right? Because, a lot of us struggle related to our credit. Maybe nobody, I know in my family, my mom never talked to me about, only thing she ever did was yell at me and tell me, you better not get that credit card, but she never explained why. So, of course, I got it. So then I was in debt. So, but if someone could sit down and talk to folks and help them understand how to better manage their money. You don't have to have a lot of money to be able to meet all your needs.
That's right.
But if you manage your money well, then you can do the things that you want to do. So I want to make sure folks know they can go down to the Claude Black Center and speak personally with a financial counselor. The other thing that I learned about, and I hope that some folks can talk to some of our young people about this, there is, how sometimes you pass by buildings all the time, you say, I wonder what they do in there.
Yeah.
There's a building over on Belgium Lane near Willowwood, across from the old Cameron Elementary, and I pass by there all the time, and I was invited to go in there and found out that it's the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union training facility. They toured me all around the facility. They have an extensive training facility, and they have a program where you can enter, I think you only have to be 18, and you can, they'll start you out with like a helper's job where you make $8 or $9 an hour. You go to school 2 or 3 nights a week for 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, you get a union job starting you out at, I think it was at least about $25 per hour.
Wow.
And when I looked at the pictures on the wall of the graduating classes, I didn't see too much color.
Okay, wait. Back it up. Repeat that again. Repeat that.
Okay, over on Belgium Lane. And if folks want more specific information, because I didn't actually bring it written down, so I'm going off my memory. So on Belgium Lane, over near Willowwood, there is a union training facility. It's the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union. And they have a training facility to train people to for those trades. Okay, so they have a program where they start you out. You're like a helper on construction jobs, so you get paid. You attend school at night. I think maybe 2 nights a week. You do this over 5 years. I think you receive a raise every year. So you're making money. You're going to school. At the end of the 5 years, you are able to be eligible for a job paying about $25 per hour. And these are very good jobs. However, what I witnessed when they toured me around the facility, they had pictures of the graduates on the wall, the graduating class. I only saw like maybe one brother sprinkled here and there, a couple of Hispanic brothers, and hardly any sisters. It's a lot of single parents out here, single women who could use a job that paid that kind of money.
Okay. Now I have a question.
Yes.
Is it also like a second chance program too?
Well, that I tried to get some clarification on that as well. The issue is that depending on if you have a crime in your past, it's going to depend on which union you're trying to get into, and the state might make a determination for your license, because for many of these jobs you will have to have a state license. And so they kind of made it sound like it was a case-by-case basis, but I definitely feel like it's at least worth finding out more information as opposed to just writing it off and saying, oh, I can't do that because, I made a mistake in my past.
Okay. So will it help if one goes and that's looking for a second chance, that have had a bad case of history, if they take character references with them?
That would probably help.
Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, take about 7 character references and let them be true. Okay, go ahead.
So, yes, if people want more specific information on this, please call my office at 207-0950. Again, I had a opportunity to tour the facility, and they gave me a lot of information, and they were trying to beef up the recruitment. The other interesting thing, it was kind of funny how we were able to partner together, because the gentleman who represented the school told me that the folks that go there, they're making money, but as soon as they get it, they want to go buy a new truck.
Come on.
So they needed to go to some of these financial counselors.
Right.
He was very excited to hear about the financial counselors, because he wants to make sure that the workers are managing their money properly so that they can, make a nice life for themselves and their families.
Okay. San Antonio, I want to be able to say, call Miss Taylor's office. Get some information. There's no excuse for you to be making, let me say, minimum wage when you don't have to. All you have to do is just take a step, a positive step, and pick up the phone, because Miss Taylor is here for you.
Yes, I'm here for you. And I really try to just make connections, like the example that I just gave, because a lot of folks come to me with information, so then I try to connect them with people that I think can use it, can benefit from it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, let's see, what else? Don't you have any questions for me? Those were the 2 main things that I wanted to talk about.
Okay, Miss Taylor, okay, what's to be expected? Because, you're going to win this election.
Is that a prophecy?
Well, let me see. The word says, call those things which be not if though they were.
Amen.
Okay? And faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
All right.
How am I doing so far?
Doing good.
Okay. So we decree and we declare that it shall be.
Okay.
Amen. Did it make a home run?
Amen. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
What can we look forward to?
Well, should the voters allow even beyond this, I can possibly be in for 4 more years.
Okay.
There's a lot of work to be done, especially in East San Antonio. There are areas that have been neglected for more like 40 years. So at least we can get some things in the pipeline. Definitely want to shepherd through some of the projects that have already started, like the Wheatley redevelopment. Would like to see how we could bring more employers into the area and also connect people with employment opportunities like the one that I just talked about. Also would like to help our neighborhood associations to be stronger so they can have a stronger voice no matter who's in office. We got to get some of the young folks involved in the neighborhood associations. I know everybody's, with their kids and busy doing stuff in school, but we can't just let these 85-year-old ladies, carry the banner for us forever. Some of the young folks have got to get involved in trying to change and improve their neighborhoods and maintain the quality of life in neighborhoods as well. Definitely want to work on some housing opportunities, be focusing on that, continuing to support youth-related organizations. I support Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. I'm on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I'm a mentor. My mentee attends Highlands High School.
Hey.
Got some Highland Owls out there.
Yeah, got some Highland Owls, and I'm one myself.
Oh, all right. Okay, my husband is too. So, definitely continuing to support the youth and just be responsive to constituents in general. On the Northeast, we have a lot of folks out there as well. We need more youth programs and youth facilities in that part of town too. So, want to see what I can do. Also, Walsham Road, I'd like to spend some more time working on trying to continue the revitalization of that corridor. So there are quite a few things left to do, but got the energy to do it.
Well, I'm going to say you have done a tremendous job here in the city. But let's talk about the Boys Club. Let's talk about the Boys Club in San Antonio. Because there's so much involved now, and that area has been cleaned up very well. And
there's an interest in establishing another location, possibly over in the new Wheatley Courts area. Because for folks who have a car, it may seem like it's not that far, the Boys Club on MLK. But for families that are challenged related to transportation, it is kind of far. So all the kids aren't able to take advantage. So I'd love to see another location of the Boys and Girls Club. If I had a magic wand, I'd love to build a new building for the one there at MLK, but I don't know that we'll have the resources for that. That is a city building. The Boys and Girls Club runs it. But we are going to be making some improvements to Martin Luther King Park. Oh, that is the other thing I would like to see, is the park to be known as a family-friendly destination for all San Antonians. A couple of months ago, we hosted a fun run. There's a group called Girls on the Run that encourages girls to get active.
Yes.
And they had a fun run in Martin Luther King Park. So it was a diverse group that was involved, and so many of the folks didn't spend time on the east side, and they were shocked. They said, I didn't know that such a nice park was over here. I've never been to this park before. How come no one ever told me about this park? So we'd like for everybody to know about the wonderful asset we have, and we have $2 million. We're going to be having some community meetings soon to talk about what kind of improvements we could spend that money on. We probably need some more pavilions because it gets hot out there. We need a little shade.
Oh, yes.
And maybe some more playgrounds for the kids, and we'll have to figure out what else we need at that particular park.
Now, in the meetings, is the community invited to attend?
Yes, the community is invited. Yes, the city's Capital Improvement Management Department reaches out to the surrounding area, lets them know, hey, we have this money, we want to work on this park. What are your ideas? What do you want to see? In fact, we've already been going through that process with Pittman Sullivan Park, which is the park right there next to the David Scott YMCA. We have $650,000 in the budget to create a walking trail in that park, which is what the community had requested. And so we've had some meetings to review the design. I don't quite remember what the construction schedule is, but we've already had, I think, 2 community meetings to talk about what the design might look like. That's one of my other goals right there. Pittman Sullivan Park is on Iowa Street,
Yes.
and I really want to make that a gateway into the east side. So like if you're coming from the Alamo Dome and you come over the bridge there, you know, I just want it to be like an amazing vista, like wow. So toward that goal, yesterday we had about 100 UTSA and SAC volunteers out scraping, painting, and making minor home repairs to, I think it was about 6 or 7 homes along Iowa Street. So they were there yesterday, they'll be there today, and they'll be there next weekend as well. And that's a partnership between UTSA and the city's Office of Historic Preservation.
San Antonio, you're listening to Miss Ivy Taylor, our city councilwoman. We want you to know it's time to get involved if you haven't been involved. And once again, Miss Taylor, can you share the number that they can reach you at?
210-207-0950.
Okay. Now, before you go, I must ask, as we prepare, and this is just for the general information, general public, but share the importance of how important it is. What can you see down the road, where we're headed, if we don't come together?
Okay, yes, I think it's very important for the community to come together to focus on the most key priorities so that you know, we can keep the focus and keep the resources in our community, so that we can have representation on the San Antonio City Council. That's important as well. I talk to folks about this all the time. We only have 1 black representative on the San Antonio City Council. However,
Who's that?
That's me. And as a top 10 city, I think it's important that we have an African American on the City Council, even though we're less than 10% of the population. I still think it's important. We make big contributions here in the city, and I think when folks from other cities look at us, they want to see that representation. So we need to come together as a community so that we can ensure that we have that representation.
Okay. Ms. Taylor, I thank you for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to have you, and we look forward to it. And once again, if you, and I stress, San Antonio, call Ms. Taylor. If she's not in, she has a wonderful secretary that will be able to fill you in for whatever you want to know. But call, get involved, encourage your young people. Matter of fact, get involved with your young people and step out into the community, because we talk so much about change. Well, if you want to change, well, here we have a black representative, but most of all, not just serving the black community, but serving all communities, so we can come together, because together there's change. Your last words as we go.
Be blessed, everyone.